And then she relapsed, and that's when she passed away?
She did not relapse. She passed away in the facility, not a facility I own because I do not own a rehab, but she passed away a few days before she was supposed to step down to a lower level of care, which is basically living in a sober living or living on campus or living somewhere and then going to a program 5 days a week.
Right. And so what happened?
That's the big question. So she passed away in her sleep. I had gotten a phone call from Larry, and he was like hysterical, crying, and it was Mother's Day, and my husband and I were visiting his mom in Chicago when I got the phone call. So we were having like brunch with his mom, and I got this call with Larry just calling me, and I couldn't understand what he was saying, and then like I made out what he was saying is Amanda's dead, and I'm like, Larry, what are you talking about? Like I didn't even take it seriously, and he was like, they called me and they told me Amanda died. And I told him, I'm like, Larry, that's impossible. I just spoke to her. Like, there's no way. Sorry.
No.
So I was calling the facility, calling. No one would call me back. And then the CEO called me and said, hey, Lima, I'm really sorry, but Amanda passed away. And we, that team loved Amanda. You know, she was there for quite some time, and she had watched the videos of herself later on, like not at the beginning of when she was at the treatment center, and the staff told Amanda not to show the videos to anyone because they didn't want other patients to judge her for like her past. And Amanda didn't care. She was like, there was a girl that was trying to leave the treatment center, like discharge against medical advice, so leave early. And her parents told her that if you finish treatment, we're gonna buy you a car. And Amanda was in such shock that this girl was gonna leave the treatment center and go relapse, and that her parents were willing to buy her a car. And she was like, look at these videos of me. Like, do you want to end up like me? And she ended up pulling this girl to the side, and she was like, do you realize like how lucky you are that your parents are going to like take care of you and do all this stuff for you? And,
right.
you know, and so she would often like show those videos to people to like convince them to stay in treatment. And, anyways, so she just became like a part of the family at that facility. All of the staff knew her. They all loved her very much. She had like her chair in group, which when she passed away, they put flowers on the chair she used to sit on, the other patients.
Right.
And then another girl came and moved the flowers and sat down, and like a fight broke out in the middle of group therapy because it was Amanda's chair. So like there was a lot of people that really loved and cared about her. And you know, that was so when I had spoken to the medical staff and asked them, they told me that you know, aside from her medications, Amanda only had Tylenol in her system. Fast forward, it was aspirin, not Tylenol, because they which to me is not such a big deal of me announcing Tylenol versus aspirin.
I mean, they're very similar, right? I've pretty much taken them interchangeably my whole life.
But they're not the reason. None of that is the reason that she passed away. And so, like, when she passed, the coroner took months to get back to us and kept coming back with, I don't know. And then Mark and all these, you know, people like donors and everyone would be hitting me up and saying, why did Amanda pass away? Why did it, like, what's going on? Don't you think it's weird that you don't have an answer yet? And so then, we sent, my colleague sent an email to the coroner because I didn't want to be the one interacting with the coroner directly because I had felt that I was like backtracking when I first got Amanda into treatment. How unfiltered do you want me to be on this podcast?
Real unfiltered. What? Throw a turd at you or something?
No. When I first got Amanda into treatment, I ended up, so it was a really bad time in my life. So I had like no money for my company. I didn't know how I was going to make payroll, right? This is like end of 2020, like roughly October. So I didn't know how I was going to make payroll. I was having issues with my sisters. Like they were just doing really, really poorly, and they kept ending up in the hospital or near dead or whatever the case was. I had an incident where, the facility that Amanda was at in California was $40,000 a month. And the woman kept texting me like, when am I going to get paid? When am I going to get paid? And I told her, that we would pay her that month. And so I went on Mark's channel and I announced that we're going to help Amanda. And so I was expecting, because there was such an overwhelming amount of people that were asking for that we were going to get a lot of support and we were going to be able to pay for her treatment. And so I ended up raising $1,500.
Off this GoFundMe that you announced on Mark's channel?
Yes, and it was attached. So I started a scholarship program, and the money all went to giving.org. It's a fiscal sponsor. It's a nonprofit. They collect the money and they manage it so that it never touches my hands or Mark's hands. And I felt that was the most transparent way of doing it. So when we say it's going to pay for medical expenses, Giving, we submit the receipts to Giving, and then Giving pays the medical facilities. And so this lady's texting me. She's like, why I need to get paid or I'm releasing Amanda. And then on top of that, the backlash that I had gotten when I announced I was helping Amanda was, Amanda's black and this lady's white and this lady's trying to take advantage of the Black Lives Matter movement and whatever. Like, it was a shock. Okay,
the fact that she's black seems very unimportant in comparison to the fact that she was blatantly addicted to drugs and was spiraling out of control, right?
It was a shock.
I mean, that's just so crazy. Shock.
And if you look at that interview, like, it was an overwhelming amount of negativity pouring in, basically about white entitlement.
Right. Like, I would think so much more of the average Software Underbelly viewer, to be honest. Like, I would just think that they were like largely a community of people that were like pretty reasonable. And then I hear something like that. And really, like, I was just reading the comments on your new interview on Software Underbelly, trying to get like a grasp of what the main complaints are.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, I didn't really see the Illuminati thing so much, but I don't really see like real arguments. I just see like she seems like a liar. Like, some people just seem to be convinced by your mannerisms, I guess, maybe that.
I uploaded a video today that got not the best response. I mean, I haven't checked on it since I uploaded it, but I titled it, I looked up T-Channel to see like what they title their videos, and I titled it Lima from Aura is in big trouble. And it's basically me reacting to some of the ridiculous things that people are saying, like Lima's not my real name, and
right,
Lima
is a country,
basically.
Right. Would you Lima is a bean? Some people would say.
Some people, you know what? Okay. Some people will like be mean to me in the comments and be like, go kill yourself, Lima Bean. But like, my best friend in high school, her name was Ashley. I can't find her. I don't think she has a Facebook. So if she's out there, contact me. But
any Ashleys watching this, tap in.
Any Ashleys, she used to call me Lima Bean when we were in high school. It was just the cute name she had for me. So that doesn't offend me. It just reminds me of Ashley.
Right.
But I just think that's funny because no one that actually likes me calls me that in the comments.
But okay, my thing about it is like, and when I was watching, like, okay, would you say there's like a ringleader of this? Or is it kind of, right?
Yeah, so all of this really started, well, the first wave was just totally random. It was random people saying that I was racist because Amanda was black. But if I was helping a white person, they would say I'm racist because I'm not helping a black person.
that is a good point, yeah.
There's no way I could win that. And so I'm getting text messages constantly from, this lady that owns the treatment center in California saying, we're releasing Amanda. Well, if they release Amanda, then she violates her court order, and then she's going to get arrested when they find her, and she's going to end up doing time. And then I will be known, my reputation, as the white woman that put a black woman in jail when I'm trying to say, this is how you help someone.
Because you didn't have $40,000 a month.
Yeah, and I couldn't raise the money. Like, it was only $1,500 that we had raised.
I think we really got to call out Mark for all this, because he set you up with the impossible task of like. I mean, I'm not gonna say impossible, but let's be real. It's like if you took 1,000 addicts and put them in a room, it seems like Amanda might honestly be the worst one. Like, she was like, it was really, really bad. To expect that you would have been able to right the ship that she was sailing at that time.
Well, I did tell Mark I could help anybody, and I was extremely confident. And by the way, Amanda is not the worst case that I've dealt with.
Right.
I've dealt with people similar to Amanda, but so for me, if I didn't think I could help Amanda, why would I put myself in front of millions of viewers and say, okay, I'll take this case on?
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. We appreciate y'all.